It's natural to encounter conflicts among personal relations in life. But what happens when wanting things a certain way turns into control? Over 50% of adults are expected to experience emotional abuse in their lifetime. Emotional manipulation is when an abusive person uses strategies to gain control or victimize another. This often stems from a desire to influence someone through abusive tactics. Abusive people believe they have the right to control victims' lives, enjoying the power gained.
You belong to me now.
Emotional abuse can happen in any type of relationship, whether personal, social, or professional. Victims often feel helpless, distressed, and trapped in a toxic cycle, impacting their mental health. To protect yourself, it's crucial to identify the distinctive behaviors of an emotionally abusive person. This is the first step towards taking care of your safety and mental and physical health. Let's break down the most common signs of a manipulator. This video provides general guidance for educational purposes only, not professional advice. Number 1. They are too much too soon. Emotional manipulators are skilled liars with a constant ultimate goal in mind. This goal usually involves gaining some form of power over their victim. They'll do whatever it takes, skipping important steps of a strong relationship foundation. Manipulators rush to reach shared vulnerability in relationships or at home. Have you ever heard of the term love bombing? This is when an abuser creates false intimacy with overwhelming adoration and sensitivity. Narcissists use this strategy to capture their prey before they realize the game. But this entire facade of openness and sensitivity is just an illusion. They overshare and act sensitive, making victims feel special and responsible for their feelings. But this entire facade of openness and sensitivity is just an illusion. When you need support, your manipulator will initially display eagerness to help. However, this eagerness quickly turns into reluctance and indifference towards your situation. When a victim needs help, an emotional manipulator will find a way to make it about themselves. Helping the victim is just a toxic urge to remind them they are a burden. They only pretend concern when convenient, showing minimal care for anyone else. Number 3. They refuse to help resolve problems. They only pretend concern when convenient, showing minimal care for anyone else. In these situations, manipulators exploit emotional attachment by blaming the victim. According to Anita Chlapala, a licensed marriage and family therapist.
Hi there, I'd like to help you with that.
While healthy partners compromise, manipulators insist on their way, refusing to listen. Emotional manipulators claim victimhood, believing nothing is ever their fault. If they get upset, they blame you for upsetting them. And if you get upset, it's also your fault for having unreasonable expectations. Healthy relationships share core values like respect and empathy, upheld even in tough times. They look out for each other, no matter the obstacles that test them. In abusive relationships, the abuser removes themselves, avoiding victim concerns. They view conflict as you versus me, instead of us versus the problem. In abusive relationships, the abuser removes themselves, avoiding victim concerns. Number 4. They gaslight you. Manipulators are adept at bending reality to appear as the victim in any situation. Gaslighting is a hard-to-identify emotional abuse with lasting effects on trust and self-esteem. By denying reality and calling victims crazy, manipulators make them doubt their own sense of reality. The gaslighter asserts control, making the victim rely on them for a sense of reality. Gaslighting gives manipulators a free pass to dismiss toxic behaviors and avoid acknowledging wrongdoings. This tactic shifts blame onto you, making you feel at fault for the problem. Gaslighting instills self-doubt, anxiety, and confusion, potentially leading to depression. The victim falls into the trap, and the gaslighter moves on with no remorse. Number 5. They isolate you from others. Manipulators restrict contact with friends and family to socially isolate their victims. A study published by the National Library of Medicine explains how isolation works. Isolation undermines a victim's life and identity, fostering dependence on the manipulator. They stop you from seeing friends or family they're uncomfortable with. Manipulators fear that time with others might reveal the truth of their abuse. By controlling your social circle, manipulators gain ultimate control over your connections. The more severe the isolation, the more severe the abuse becomes. Victims may self-isolate due to fear of retaliation, coercion, or attempting to stop the abuse. Number 6. They know your weaknesses and can use them against you. Manipulators are highly aware of your weaknesses, always looking to exploit them. Their abuse stems from narcissism and insecurities, which they project onto you. They prey on your vulnerabilities by highlighting shortcomings, constantly putting you down. Some manipulators make critical remarks, disguised as humor, to make you feel inferior. By making you feel bad, the aggressor imposes psychological superiority. For instance, they might notice your struggle with a pressing insecurity. They might use this against you by publicly drawing attention to your most vulnerable trait. Manipulators find satisfaction in seeing their victims fall due to psychologically damaging behavior. This feeds their ego, destroying your self-esteem by making you feel flawed or less than. And number 7. They guilt trip you. Emotional manipulators use your guilt against you to achieve their desires. Manipulators exploit your past wrongdoings and flaws, influencing you to feel obligated to them. They gain control by exaggerating your guilt, making you prioritize their preferences over your own. Manipulators use guilt to control your actions and make you disregard personal desires, maintaining dominance. What do? Their game relies on making you dependent to sustain their control over you. They are so good at it that you end up questioning your own sanity. Emotional manipulators are difficult due to their unpredictable and irrational behavior. They can undermine your sense of identity and individuality. Once you understand a manipulator's tendencies, you can set stronger boundaries for protection. While you can't control their actions, you can build boundaries. You can set personal limits and boundaries for what you will not tolerate. When they cross the line, have an escape route planned to get away. You need to distance yourself from this person for your own safety and well-being. Dealing with an emotional manipulator can be a challenging process. Stay in close contact with trusted friends and family as you navigate through this. If you or someone you know is experiencing abuse, refer to the resources below.